Alright, today we'll be reacting to a True Off My Chest story from Reddit. Greta, do your thing.
My husband's girl best friend is pregnant and she says it's his.
The heck?
So I met my husband, 25 male, while I was 22 female, and we hit it off instantly. He was the man of my dreams. He took me on date nights and made sure I was loved and gave me big gifts every so often, telling me I was the only one for him. I believed this since we have been together for 4 years now, and I've never had any issues until he introduced his best friend, who we will call Laura for privacy reasons. I remember we had an argument because he didn't tell me about her for our whole relationship, and he had been sneaking to see her and hang out with her at parties when I was sleeping, believing that he was working overtime. Well, that's already not that great. I was hurt by this, and my first thought immediately went to infidelity, but I found all of their texts to be platonic after he willingly told me to look. Yeah, my guess is he probably deleted all of the non-platonic ones. I thought she was nice at first, since when I first met her, she spoke to me politely and said how lucky I was for about a week until there was a get-together and my husband invited me along because it was her mother's anniversary and her family loved my husband because they had known each other since they were kids. I was okay with this and quite excited since I wanted to make more female friends and have girls' nights out to relieve my work stress since my job is difficult and I make 6 figures. I should also mention my husband works in an office job that doesn't pay a lot, so I handle all of the house bills and chores while he's trying to get another job. I walked into the house with my husband, and she ran to him happy and immediately wrapped her whole body around his arm and dragged him off to the garden. He didn't even come to get me or anything after being dragged away, so I went to the kitchen to ask for a drink where I was greeted by Laura's mother. She's a lovely person. We generally had a nice talk about our own lives, and she made sure I felt welcome. The whole gathering was mainly nothing special till it got to the dinner. I sat down next to my husband, and Laura walked up to me and asked me to move.
What?
What? I asked why, since the only other spot available was next to her uncle and mother, and since it was about her mother, wouldn't she want to sit next to her? Laura replied to the question with, "'Cause I want to sit next to him." Oh, no, I don't think so. I turned to my husband, who just nodded, and told me to move as well, saying that I was being childish and making a scene. Are they kidding? At this point, I generally felt my blood boiling. Yeah, me too. I stood up and told my husband that I felt uncomfortable and that I needed to go to the bathroom and asked where it was. Laura told me and I left the table doing breathing exercises, trying to calm down. I ended up messaging my brother from the bathroom, and he said I was being jealous and that I was overreacting, so I agreed and went back to the table to sit next to Laura's mother. I don't think she's overreacting at all. Even if she just wanted to sit in that spot, his wife is already sitting there. The whole time they were laughing, and it seemed that everything he said was funny to her, and she kept rubbing his back, touching his arms, and saying how strong he had gotten, and she would look at me smugly. I don't think so. The breaking point to all of this was when I put a bit of meat onto my plate and she said, "Are you really going to eat all of that?"
Oh, it's on now.
And I froze in embarrassment while my husband and her laughed. Her mother stood up for me, saying that was inappropriate and to treat guests with respect, but she ignored it. Laura is very pretty and slim and works out, so coming from her it hurt a lot. I stood up from my chair and walked out the front door and called my dad. I told him to pick me up and I'll explain why in the car. When I got in the car, I broke down and told him everything. He said I was most likely overreacting, but the situation was very odd and that I'm welcome to stay with him for the time being. I don't understand why all these people are saying she is overreacting. This woman is actively flirting with her husband and her husband isn't even defending her. I thanked him and went back to our house. While I was getting comfortable, my phone flooded up with messages from my husband and Laura. I read the messages, and to my horror, my husband was saying I ruined the whole dinner and that he was going to stay there for the night. I then read what Laura said, saying I had ruined her night because of my pick-me behavior. After doing research on that word, it only filled me up with more anger. There's no pick-me when you're already the wife. That doesn't even make sense. And the husband is so wrong on this. My husband came home around 5 p.m. from Laura's And I immediately said leaving me and staying at another woman's house was disgusting. And he started shouting that I'm overreacting again and that I need to go to counseling for my jealousy issues. For about a month, everything was going okay again, apart from that my husband got more distant and cold, and I could feel that our argument wedged a gap in our marriage. Until I got a message from Laura this morning with a positive pregnancy result and a threat saying we should get divorced because it's my husband's. I don't know what to do, and I'm just venting because I feel awful, and I feel like I failed as a wife. I don't know if I should confront my husband, and I'm thinking about it. Edit. I'm getting a lot of hate and death threats, so I'll clear up some allegations. Oh my goodness. I'm 26, not 22. I met my husband when I was 22. I've not confronted him because he's not home yet, and I'm contemplating calling and asking there, but he's not replied to my good morning text since he woke up before me and went to work. My dad owns a company that works with care homes, not going to say a lot about it for my safety, and that's how I make money. No, I wasn't earning six figures at 22, but I am now at 26. No, my dad wasn't against me, and he was just confused because I was crying to him and wasn't making a lot of sense, so he thought she was just being a bit touchy. No, Laura wasn't at our wedding, and I have doubts they are childhood friends. I plan on messaging her mother to ask if they have known each other for as long as they say, and I'll be confronting my husband tomorrow when he gets home. Okay, that was a lot.
Wait a minute. If her mom knew that she was married, wouldn't she have been in on it? I mean, the mom?
Do you mean Laura's mother?
Right.
Oh, yeah, Laura's the friend. I don't think Laura's mother was in on it. I think maybe Laura's mother just assumed they were friends somehow.
But wouldn't the mom find it odd that her daughter is very touchy-feely with a married man?
Right. But I mean, I don't
wonder-
really think it's the mom's responsibility to monitor their
I
behavior.
just wonder if the mom knew that they were an item.
I don't think so, because he presented her as his wife.
Right.
So I don't think the mom thinks that Laura is an item with the husband. Right. But that certainly doesn't seem like best friend behavior. That seems very flirtatious. That seems very possessive. And then the fact that they're all getting upset with OP rather than Laura and saying she's overreacting and she's being jealous because another woman is getting all touchy-feely with her husband and she kicked her out of her spot.
And also, I don't think Laura knows what a pick-me is.
No, if anything, Laura is the pick-me girl, not the wife. The wife is already the wife. She doesn't need to be picked. Okay, let's see what some of the commenters think. So this Redditor says, from the sounds of it, he married your money and the lifestyle you could provide, but that's about it. He's probably been with her the whole time and just made sure to police his messages before handing over his phone. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Obviously, he's not going to hand over his phone with messages that are going to be incriminating.
I was going to say the same thing. He scrubs his phone before he hands it over to her, so he knows what he's doing.
Right, and he gives her the phone, so he's like, look, it's all innocent. There's nothing going on here. But just the behavior from him and Laura, that doesn't say innocent friendship to me.
The way the OP describes it, it sounds like her husband and Laura have a very hands-on relationship. And couple it with the fact that she did it in front of everybody means she really didn't care.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. She grabbed him as soon as he walked in. She ran off with him, and then she kicked his wife out of the spot on the dining table because she wanted to sit next to him. And the fact that he's going along with all of this means he's definitely not innocent, obviously. But, okay. So there is an update to this story. So let's see. My husband's girl best friend is pregnant and says it's his. Update. First of all, I want to say how much I am thankful for all the love and support I've received, and the advice has helped me so much. It has really made me understand where I stand in my relationship, and I finally know what I'm gonna do. Also, I'm 26, not 22. Now for the story. My husband came home around 6 a.m. to where he threw his keys on the side and went upstairs without saying anything to me. I thought this was a little rude, and I walked up after him telling him we need to talk, but he said he was tired and needed to sleep, which just made me angry because I was serious. I told him halfway up the stairs that I knew about him and Laura, to which he then looked at me confused. I explained my side and the text and what it seemed like, and he ended up laughing in my face. This filled me up with so much petty rage because I have had enough of being walked on, so I pushed past him into our room and got a suitcase from under the bed and started to pack his stuff for him. He started shouting at me, saying really horrible things, but I didn't hear most of it since I was crying uncontrollably and busy ramming every item of clothing he owned. Most of it didn't fit, but he could come collect it later. One insult that stood out to me was crazy bitch. And this is where I snapped and said some horrible things too. I know I called him a bad husband, but in more of a ruder tone. He ended up leaving with his suitcase I packed and a plastic bag after I said I would get my dad involved if he didn't leave. After, I took a recommended comment and told my family everything. My brother didn't care, but my father was so angry there might have been steam coming from the phone after the call. I haven't heard from my soon-to-be ex-husband, but his response to my question was complete disrespect, and I wasn't able to hold it in for much longer. Good for her. I'm sure what I did was a complete overreaction and was regretting it till I texted Laura's mother since I said I would do that. She didn't reply till 11 a.m., but basically what happened is that she only met my husband 2 years ago, which I'm guessing is through the time of the constant overtime from him. He's also staying there currently. This made me so angry that I texted Laura something petty, which I don't regret. I hadn't replied to her yet, so I told her that she can have him, and I can't wait till the same things happen to her that she gets cheated on. She's not replied yet or seen it. I have screenshotted everything she said and the picture and will be calling a lawyer later on. Nothing else has really happened. If it does, I will give another update. Thanks, everyone. Edit. Sorry for the bad grammar. I've not slept well and I'm about to go for a long-needed sleep. Small update. Husband messaged me and I ignored it, and Laura left me on read. Husband messaged me that he is sorry and wants to come home and needs to talk about Laura's message. Not sure what he's going to say about it, but I'm going to message him back to meet me somewhere because I don't want him in my house right now. Not sure what he's going to say, but I'm ready for the lies and gaslighting. Love you all. Edit. I'm really disappointed in Reddit. Oh no. I thought this could be a post to vent and have men and women help and give advice and listen to me so I can finally feel like I'm being heard. And I'm getting a lot of sexist comments and people spamming me saying I'm scummy for lying and that they will find me. Oh my goodness, who's doing that? If you are one of these people, please leave me alone. Yes, I have left out some information and I'm not updating immediately, but I've been so tired these past 2 days, I really do not have the ability nor resistance to keep typing up massive updates. I need a rest, and when I meet my husband, I will give one last update for the people who are supporting me and giving me amazing advice. You guys are so sweet and I appreciate you a lot. I took some time off work to figure stuff out, but I'm not looking forward to the amount piled up from my missed days. Love you all, and I wish you all the best, especially for the people that went through what I'm going through now. Okay, so not too much of an update on whether or not the baby is actually her husband's, or, I mean, it sounds like it is. The fact that as soon as he left the house, he went straight to Laura's house and he's staying there with her. And now he's suddenly apologizing and wants to come back because he probably realized he might actually miss out on the lifestyle he's been living all this time.
Let's read some of the comments.
Okay, so this Redditor says, when Laura realizes OP is the one with the money, I would want to see her face. Yeah, seriously, especially if she's with OP's husband because she thinks he's the one that's making all of the money. Ooh, this one says she may not even be pregnant, which is possible. She may be lying just to try to get OP to divorce her husband so she can take him. But it looks like OP's done with him anyway, so Laura can have him, I guess. All right, let us know what you guys think in the comments, and if we do get an update, we'll be sure to post it here. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel, and kindly hit that notification bell.
And we'll catch you next time.